Hey guys, what's up? I am here today to film a video that I truly do not want to do. If you have been following me for quite some time now, you know I have this love-hate relationship with none other than this Thai constellation. Now, if you have been following me for quite some time, you know that I've been through some things with this Thai constellation. Now, back in February, it had actually got reset, and what I mean by that is when I had upsized the pot and repotted it, it actually underwent a whole lot of root rot, and I was just trying to keep it alive. And quite frankly, I'm really impressed that I was able to maintain these ginormous leaves, and they're still in pretty good condition if you ask me. So I'm happy for that. Yeah, we are gonna be repotting this today. And I'm very nervous about it. So back in February, I actually had reset this whole plant and cut off as much of the dead roots as much as I could, and I had soaked it in hydrogen peroxide and the other substance, HydroGuard, and shoved it in stratum. And here we are, a whole lot of growth. It's actually popping out of the the container, so it definitely needs to be repotted. I am just, you know, procrastinating because it's just, I don't want to go through that again. But I think what I'm actually gonna do is repot this in mostly stratum and a little bit of soil, so we'll see how that goes. And I actually have two other Monsteras that I want to show you guys and just give you guys an update as to how they look right now, and I'll also repot those as well. And they tend to repot just fine. They're not as finicky as this Thai constellation. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So I have my potting mix here, and as you guys know, this is mostly tree fern fiber. Actually, it's not mostly, I think it's kind of like a 1:1:1 ratio. There's coarse perlite, there's bark, there's peat moss, and there's also what do you call it, tree fern fiber. So this seems to be the mixture that is doing really well for my other two Monsteras. So I'm hoping that this Thai constellation kind of takes to it. So like I said, I'm probably just gonna be transferring the whole thing into its new container, and I actually think I'm going to be using this container right here. Now I know that this doesn't look very big at all, but what I've learned in the past is that Thai constellations, when you upsize its pot, it's stressed out obviously, and I noticed that I go through root rot faster. I don't know, I just find that I'm more prone to root rot when I transition it from one substrate to another when I upsize the pot. So I'm just gonna kind of keep the container the same, and then cross my fingers and pray to the plant gods. If you hear the rumbling in the back, that's just PETA. He's he has his zoomies right now. I'm sorry guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and just kind of struggle taking this plant out of here, and I'll just do like an up close so you guys can see the roots. So I shall be back. Oh boy. Okay, so I've taken the Thai constellation out of the container it was in, and this is what I have. So really, you would think, oh, it's doing fine, it's okay. It's not that okay. I do see that there is some root rot still that's going on, but there's definitely new growth that's going on right now. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is kind of clean it up. And by clean it up, I mean I'm probably gonna, I don't want to do this. So usually when I repot something, I don't want to disrupt the root ball. So I typically don't like to mess around with this. I just kind of let it be. But because there's some parts, did you see that? There's some parts that are just kind of dead, like dead. I don't want to risk repotting it in, you know, something else, and then there's bacteria and all this stuff. So unfortunately, I've kind of already contaminated my soil mix. So much fun. But what I'm gonna do to combat that is I'm actually gonna douse it with hydrogen peroxide when I go to give it a good rinse, and HydroGuard as well. So for now, I think what I'm actually gonna do is kind of see and clean up anything else that looks dead and just remove it, and then just take it outside and give it a rinse, because this is not acceptable at all. Like, it's smushy. So see guys, this is what I mean. I'm not cut out for this anymore. The trauma. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just walk this outside and hose it down, and then see what I'm working with, and then I'll just go from there. So I shall be back. I don't know how long this is gonna be, and I'm not gonna take you with me because yeah, this could take some time. So yeah, I'll be back. All right, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. So this is what we're working with. I cleaned off quite a bit, and I can definitely see a whole lot of, you know, new growth in terms of like the roots. Like, look at this. Look at this. That's a nice one. So what I'm actually gonna do is take my time and clip off anything that looks dead and smushy, and anything that does not represent anything new. So this is gonna get clipped down here. I'm also probably gonna clip this too, just because I want to be able to fit it in the pot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and just start clipping away anything that is kind of burnt or just is not going to serve this plant, and cross your fingers. So I shall be back. All right, so I am now finishing up with this Thai constellation. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, and hopefully, you know, it decides to thrive. And if it doesn't, I'm like over it. You know, I'm done. I can't keep going through with this constant cycle of reviving, dying, reviving, dying. I'm sure you guys are bored of it too. So whatever happens, happens. Like I said, the soil mixture is now contaminated. So what I will be doing is, once I am done repotting all of my Monsteras, I'm gonna give it a good soak and rinse with HydroGuard, and that way the HydroGuard is going to help prevent any root rot and kill off any bacteria or fungus or what have you that's growing. So there's that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just mix this all up now. And you know, I initially was going to use the stratum anyways in this mixture. I just didn't anticipate the amount of root rot that I had. So it is what it is. All right, so I'm just mixing this up. What's next? Ooh, this one is exciting. This one actually brings me quite a bit of joy. This is the Monstera Mint. Look at her. Look at the growth. It's so cute. Now, this is the original leaf that, I swear to you, I feel like it wants to just give up on life, but it's still here. It's still holding on strong. And then these are the new growth that it's given me so far. I don't know why. Oh, no, I do know why. So whenever you see a juvenile leaf like this, it's because I decided to repot it. But this one, I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know. But in any case, isn't she pretty? Brings me so much joy. And all of my, what do you call it, Monsteras are currently out in the open. They're not in a tank or anything like that. They are at normal room temperature, normal humidity, although lately it's been very hot up here, so you know, give and take. So let's go ahead and just kind of pull this out. Oh yeah. Do you see this? I can't see, but I think you guys can see. It looks perfect. I'm so happy. There's a lot of growth going on over here. Yeah, I'm definitely happy. So these little bits down here are fried. So I'm gonna go ahead and snip those off because don't need it. And I'll go ahead and kind of break up the bottom just a little bit so that it can kind of spread itself out. And yeah, I'll go ahead and repot this and show you the finished product. Okay, so I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before or if you guys have ever noticed, but all of my plants face one direction, and that is because I have my grow lights facing one way and I force the plant to kind of produce a leaf in that direction. So when I am repotting my Monsteras, I like to have the stem close to the end of the pot as much as I can, and that is just because I kind of want the plant to grow next to something. So my big Monstera albo behind me, she's very close to the edge of the pot and her aerial roots are kind of just latching onto the wall, which is not a good thing. I need to detach her and put her against something else, maybe a piece of chicken wire or something, so it's not going into the walls. But yeah, so I like to have my leaves grow in one direction. It's just more aesthetically pleasing. So be mindful of how you're repotting your Monstera. So right now I'm kind of readjusting it so that it's almost at an angle. Do you see that? She's kind of like going at an angle, so that way when she's next to a wall, there's like that little humidity situation, so it'll just put off new aerial roots and therefore produce more leaves for you. So this is almost done and very easy. So all I did was break up the root ball just a little bit underneath and on the sides and give it a good shake. And here she is, all good. And I hope it gives me big leaves. Like I can't wait. But yeah, this one is like definitely my pride and joy. My next Monstera that I will be repotting is this one right here. Now this is my Monstera Aura. So the variegation on this is supposed to be yellow, and you know, I wasn't really a fan of this just because I felt like the yellow leaves kind of made it look sickly, but it is what it is. I mean, perhaps I would enjoy it more if the leaves were bigger, but it hasn't produced any like big leaves for me, any mature leaves. And lately it's also been producing all green leaves for me as well, which is kind of annoying. I think I see like a little bit of variegation on this one. Maybe I can show you guys. So this is the newest leaf that it's put off. Can you see that? There's a little bit of variegation going on. Oops. Right here. In this area. I don't know if the camera's focusing, but it's there. It's faint. And it's already producing an aerial root here. So it's very happy. But I also think it's very root bound, which is why it's continuously putting off these little baby leaves. So I'm gonna go ahead and repot it into something like this. And let's see what I'm working with here. So yeah, this container is very, very small. Not too bad, just pretty root bound. What I expected. So let's just pop her in here. yeah, and I'll just pot her up. All right, so here it is all potted up. And like I said, this repot was actually really very easy. I wish the Thai constellation was that easy, but it never is. Now that I think about it, I think all of my Monsteras are very easygoing, except for the Thai constellation. But that could just be because it's a tissue culture and it was just like a bad batch that I got. But yeah, I find that when I am repotting my Monsteras, they don't freak out too much. I don't find it finicky. I think maybe it's because of experience and I just kind of put it back where it was because it's already acclimated to its environment, so it's not too fussy. But I do notice that when it's if it is a major repot, like from one substrate to another, I have noticed that the Monsteras will take its sweet time to acclimate itself, but then once it's acclimated, it just takes off and it's super happy. So yeah, that's a whole lot of rambling. I'm gonna take these guys downstairs, douse it with HydroGuard. I don't know if I've already said that, but I'm saying it again. And also, PSA, if you guys are using HydroGuard and you're finding that it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, for example, you know, helping you minimize root rot or whatnot, it may be because of the temperature of your water. So I typically use cold water with my HydroGuard when I'm dousing my plants. So if you're using warm water, it's like no bueno, okay? So yeah, thanks again for tuning in and following me on this crazy ass journey with this Thai constellation. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!